blood
Octa is
pressure,
better, but
you know, whatever.
You want to say something about this image, Bill, while I'm raising it up?
Oh yeah, this is local. And like a lot of images over. And this was shot by Radim on the new, larger format, 4x5, and it is one image. There's no layering. In other words, the sky is the real sky that was there at the moment that the trees were photographed. And it's a pretty stunning image. It's a pretty good image. And by the way, you'll see later that we're redoing the entire website, redesigning all the images using only 4x5. We're backing off of all of our 6x12s, 6x9s, and so forth to give us the opportunity to do still bigger sky ceilings, because that is a demand. And also, we have better quality photographers working now who are much more effective at getting depth of field, proper focus, and all the rest of it than when we started. We started, it was me. So Radim is much better, and others are much better at this than I am.
all right. So this is pretty much it for the T5 system. The basic installation for an LED lighting system is almost the same. The only issue which is different is the electrical side of it. So what we have is just one LED system over there, and we're just going to wire that up really quickly so that you can see just the different components, but we're not going to put it into the ceiling or anything. So I'm just going to clear this space off over here. Yeah, that should be fine. And then we'll just wire it from this side. Okay. So we've got about, the first thing is the power supply. And the way an LED lighting system works is it converts your 120 or 220 volt AC power to 15 volts DC. So this is the unit that does that. It's pretty straightforward. There's a little switch on the side depending on the voltage in your facility. If it's for most of you guys, it's probably 220. But this unit, for example, you can switch it from like 120 up to 220 if need be. So then on the back, you've got your live and your neutral, which is your AC coming in, alternating current, and then these are your leads that run out.
Is this class 1 or class 2?
I believe that's actually something we're trying to figure out right now. Okay. It does have to be in an enclosure, and one thing that's important about the enclosure is that it's vented.
That is vented.
These units do have fans on them, but
it's not fused.
It is fused. It has a heat sensor in it as well. So if it does get too hot, it will shut off. And the other thing that we can provide is we have the specifications on these, and you can find out what the max operating temperature is. No. Well, this is our this afternoon we're going to show you a new LED prototype that we're working on, and the driver is going to be different. But with this, we've got 3 different models, and depending on the size of the installation, we've got like a 300, a 600, and a 1,000 watt power supply. So it depends on what the configuration is. The most common one that we'll use is like a 600 watt power supply, which is that will work for like a 6x8 installation, which is pretty standard.
How far can you remote?
Sorry?
How far can you remote?
I think that people do
You want
you
to
know,
keep
up
it
to,
as small as
yeah, keep it
short
as close as possible.
But it always has to be outside of the MRI.
MRI room.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
why.
never a problem. It's
Yeah.
always, and adjacent to the MRI,
Yeah.
there is always a control room.
Okay.
And that's where it all
Yeah.
goes.
Okay.
Because it's low voltage, you don't want the runs very
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, and it's based on the gauge of wire,
Yeah.
you know, that you use. So,
12.
yeah, you can do that.
If this is being used in a non-MRI environment where you don't care about the RFI, it can be anywhere, right? It's being selected for maintenance and efficiency issues.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's a few things that are really important about the installation of an LED system. And we've had people, a lot of electricians aren't necessarily familiar with DC lighting systems, and some problems have come up with that. People have gotten confused and flipped the polarity, so they put the negative where the positive should be and positive where the negative would be. And what happens is that it destroys the lighting system. So we've had people who have spent $20,000 on the lighting system, not read the instructions, not looked at the symbol, and then there's also, I'll show you this, there's like a warning, there's a warning label that
It says, stop, do not wire to 110, 220 volt AC. Warning, this unit requires precise electrical installation. Read instructions thoroughly to avoid permanent damage to the LEDs. Unit must be wired to 15 volt DC power supply. 1. Before powering the unit, check that input voltage is 15 volts DC. And 2. Before powering the unit, check that polarity is set correctly. And then it says, if you have any questions, phone. And it
please
has
call
their
us.
number.
Yeah. So, and believe it or not,
But still,
it still happens every now and then. Somebody from like Alabama or something will. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is, do you have the screwdriver? First thing that we'll do, I'm gonna actually remove our leads here, and we'll just plug it in on the AC side first, and I'll show you a couple things. Okay, so this is just a temporary thing. Okay, I'm going to turn off the power here. Okay, so just going to throw